Audio Jungle.
39-year-old boyfriend charged with pregnant teen's murder. The boyfriend of Jadine Gale, the pregnant teen who was found dead in St. Mary earlier this month, has been charged with her murder. Labedi Chabikar, a 39-year-old bus driver of a Mountain View address in St. Andrew, was charged Saturday following a question and answer session in the presence of his attorney. Carr had been taken into custody as the prime suspect. The body of 16-year-old Gale was found near the Devon Main Road wrapped in a blue tarpaulin by residents who alerted the police. They were reported the signs of strangulation and multiple abrasions on her body. It is alleged that the accused and the deceased had been living together since she was 13. A court date is yet to be finalized. Man arrested following rifle seizure on Walton Park Road. Police assigned to the St. Andrews Central Division seized one DR-200 rifle with a magazine containing 12 5.56 rounds of ammunition during an operation on Walton Park Road in Kingston 11. The Halfway Tree Police say about 7:30 a.m. the lawmen were in the area when a man was seen trying to go over a wall at the back of a house. He was intercepted, the premises searched, and the firearm and ammunition reportedly found wrapped in a plastic bag inside a drum. The man was taken into custody in relation to the seizure. The police say his identity is being withheld pending further investigations. 6 homeless firing fire in Peaceview. 2 children are among 6 individuals rendered homeless following a fire in Peaceview, St. James on Saturday afternoon. The fire, which started just after midday, spread quickly, gutting the 5-apartment board structure, leaving nothing to salvage. Reports are that most of the individuals were at home when they heard shouts of fire. They managed to escape with 2 of the adults sustaining minor injuries. According to the Jamaica Fire Brigade, they responded with 2 units and an ambulance from the Montego Bay Fire Station. Firefighters managed to contain the blaze before it could spread to an adjoining dwelling in the same yard and other nearby buildings. Losses estimated at $4 million, and the building was not insured. Senator Gabriela Morris says Jamaica's hospitals have become hotspots of chaos. People's National Party PNP Senator Gabriela Morris says the nation's hospitals have become hotspots of chaos. Presenting her State of the Nation address in the Senate, Ms. Morris lamented the unavailability of beds, shortage of medical equipment, and other issues. She criticized the government for focusing on optics rather than the true issues affecting healthcare.
This is a nation where falling ill is a curse, not just because of pain, but because our hospitals are overwhelmed and under-resourced. They have become hotspots of chaos. With all the resources spent in the health sector, people are still dying. People are still sick. Some as they desperately try to find the comfort of sleep on hard hospital benches or chairs when they should be resting in a hospital bed. They're waiting months for treatment. Their illnesses are getting worse because of the shortage of equipment. Severe outbreaks are denied to protect the optics for the government, while the lives of babies are lost. This is the real state of our nation.
9 pedestrians among 18 in traffic crashes, ITA. The Island Traffic Authority is reporting that 9 of the 18 people who have been killed in motor vehicle crashes this year are pedestrians. 3 were motorcyclists and 2 were pillion passengers. Also killed as of Friday, January 17, were 1 pedal cyclist, the driver of a private motor car, 1 commercial vehicle driver, and 1 driver of a public passenger vehicle. According to the ITA, both fatalities and fatal crashes have increased by 13% this year when compared to the corresponding period last year. So far, motorcyclists account for 17% of fatalities since the start of the year, pedestrians account for 50%, and pillion passenger 11%. Vulnerable road users, pedestrians, pedal cyclists, motorcyclists, and pillion passengers combined accounted for 83% of the road users killed since the start of the year. Overall, passengers account for 11% of the road users killed since January 1, with males accounting for 78% and females 22% respectively. Heart Institute of the Caribbean chairman says addressing inequities in Jamaica's health sector critical to reducing violence. Chairman of the Heart Institute of the Caribbean, Dr. Ernest Madu, says addressing the inequities in Jamaica's health sector is one critical strategy to reduce crime and violence. Dr. Madu, who was speaking to reporters at the Institute in Kingston on Thursday, pointed to other jurisdictions with health inequities and how these nations have social failures and violence. Noting that Jamaica has increased in prison population and an increase with crime and violence, Dr. Madu said inequities should not be ignored.
Scientists have been studying this and found that in populations where there is health inequity, there is social failure and violence. We talk about crime in Jamaica, we talk about prison population expanding, all of that is also tied to health inequity. If you don't have an equitable health system, you have a society that is dysfunctional, and prison populations are much higher. Patient people are less happier. Violence is much more. We want to solve that. We don't want such a society. Nobody wants to be deprived all the time. Nobody wants to be struggling all the time. Nobody wants to be hungry all the time. You know the old saying, a hungry man is an angry man. There are a lot of angry men and women in societies that are unequal. And I will postulate that the data is there to say that if we solve some of that, we will also be having a dent in the violence we're seeing in Jamaica.
2 Jamaicans convicted in money laundering scheme tied to Colombian cartel. 2 Jamaican men who were convicted on Friday for their roles in a sophisticated international money laundering organization that laundered money more than US $6 million into drug trafficking proceeds from Colombian cartels through the United States, Caribbean, and European banking systems. Saint Devon Anthony, cover 61, was convicted of 1 count of money laundering conspiracy and 7 counts of laundering of monetary instruments, while Dennis Ray Monroe, 59, was convicted of 1 count of money laundering conspiracy, 1 count of money laundering, and 2 counts of laundering of monetary instruments. The 2 who were found guilty following a 4-day jury trial will be sentenced at a later date. The charges of money laundering, conspiracy, and laundering of monetary instruments each provided for a sentence of up to 20 years in prison, up to 3 years of supervised release, and a fine of up to US $500,000 or twice the amount involved, whichever is greater. The United States Attorney said Cover and Rowe were key players in a scheme that laundered money through drug proceeds, enabling the flow of deadly narcotics onto our streets. Over the course of the 5-year investigation that led to the arrest of 20 people, US $1 million was seized from corporate bank accounts and other investigative activities. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.